you. Yeah.
Thank you. But yes, and I think I gotta get back to work.
Are you teaching this?
Oh, that's right. There's an event.
Okay. Everybody say bye, Skyland.
Bye, Skyland.
Oh, okay. Let's get into this. There's like 4 seats up front if you want to come up here. There's no reason to stand in the back. You're looking literally through the little drug freedom wall. You can come up here and sit back.
We don't buy it.
Okay, this is alarming right here because it's not fitting my TV, so I'm hoping that everything else I have on here is good. So everybody say this with me. Say, I am toxic. And I know that's a horrible affirmation, but I need a reality, is that if you live in America, we're toxic, okay? And I'm just going to read this to you because it's powerful. The distracting little girl over here. Okay. I just want us all on the same page with how our days are going. So some of you in the room have spent a lot of work and time already detoxing your life. So you're already using different products, different things. You've cleansed your house out, gotten rid of carpety stuff, all that kind of stuff. Like you've done a lot. Some of you are just in the middle of it, and some of you are about to drink from a fire hose, and you're going to be hyper overwhelmed. And I just want to put you at peace. There's no reason to be overwhelmed. This is about a 1 step at a time. Detoxification is one of the biggest topics there is because it encompasses like your entire life from the moment that you wake up. So I just want to read through this and just kind of hang in there with me. Because not everyone, some of you are going to be like, oh, I don't sleep on that mattress. And so it doesn't apply to me. And it's like, come on, like this is a generalization of a typical day in our culture right now. Okay, so you wake up from sleeping on a mattress that was coated with flame retardant chemicals, emitting formaldehyde gas and a carcinogenic brominated substance which your body readily absorbs all night. So say this again, I'm toxic. Yeah, so by the way, to get a non-flame retardant mattress, you have to have a doctor's note to get that, which I readily will sign for you if you need these things. Drinking water from a plastic bottle, you hydrate with phthalates that cause cancer and infertility. Walking barefoot towards the bathroom on synthetic carpet, your skin absorbs benzene, styrene, and several other cancer-causing chemicals used to treat carpet, which we've been doing a lot of metabolomics, functional nutrition testing on people. Styrene is a huge toxin that almost every person I test is dealing with, and it's coming from a lot of styrofoam containers, like to-go boxes, and then carpets are loaded with this. Once in the bathroom, you splash your face with tap water laced with fluoride and chlorine, both carcinogens to the human body, meaning they cause cancer. You open a plastic bottle of Listerine mouthwash and gargle a half dozen flavorings and coloring chemicals. You pick up your cancer-causing fluoride Crest toothpaste full of all kinds of toxic ingredients, including titanium dioxide, aspartame, and artificial colorings. No elbowing, people. You raise your arms and apply deodorant, which contains 7 chemicals, including aluminum if it's antiperspirant. Aluminum toxicity leads to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia. Is also parabens, a hormone-disrupting preservative, propylene glycol, a lubricant and suspected cancer agent, carcinogenic phthalates to hold fragrance and colors, and 100 other chemicals disguised under the name of fragrance, which our lovely FDA, who cares very much about you, just goes ahead and puts it in all of your stuff knowingly. Finally, you pull out numerous prescriptions, some of you prescription medications, and swallow the mixture of synthetic chemicals. Then you pee it out into the toilet and ultimately back into the tap water for others to unwittingly drink, because municipal water sources do not test or filter for medications in tap water, because the pharmaceutical industry lobbies like crazy for them to not ever even test for this stuff. All the while you've been breathing benzene fumes, which cause leukemia, from the deodorizer you stalled under the toilet seat lid. Walking back to the bedroom, you put on clothes fresh from the dry cleaner, rife with fumes and residues of trichloroethylene and N-hexane, chemicals known to cause nerve cell damage, memory loss, cardiac abnormalities, and cancer. If your clothing is made from synthetic fibers, your plastic clothes expose you to plasticizer fumes, for which you get a double bonus of breathing it in and soaking it into your skin. You and your child's clothes also likely contain flame retardant chemicals that are notorious for releasing toxic bromine fumes. These block thyroid function and make you tired and fat. The more tightly insulated your bedroom, the greater the outgas collection of chemicals from your furniture, paint, rugs, and carpeting, and the greater the impact on your brain with symptoms like mood swings, feelings of spaciness, headaches, and the inability to concentrate. Rushing into the kitchen, you pour yourself a quick bowl of cereal containing genetically modified corn, high fructose corn syrup, soy, which contains heavy metals, and nearly a dozen synthetic chemicals, food additives. While eating, you turn on the dishwasher and expose yourself to a cloud of chlorine fumes. You fix yourself a sandwich for lunch with luncheon meat that contains nitrates, synthetic hormones, and antibiotics. You coat the aluminum-tainted bread with mayonnaise that is made from genetically modified soybean oil. Then you wrap the sandwich in saran wrap, a plastic which contains vinyl chloride, a carcinogen known to cause liver, brain, and lung cancers, and is one of the deadliest man-made materials. You throw in a Diet Coke for lunch, which contains a deadly sweetener, aspartame, linked to cancer, headaches, allergies, seizures. You don't even question the safety of Diet Coke because you've been drinking it for decades. Barely into the first hour of your day, you haven't even left your house and you've been absorbing hundreds of synthetic chemicals. You haven't even walked outside yet to encounter the harshest toxins in our air generated by car exhaust and manufacturing and all the crap that we deal with. Okay?
How we last 70 years?
Now, we are programmed, we're created genetically and biblically to live 120 to 150 years of health on the planet. We are limping along to 70. We're limping along. 50% of the population is getting cancer. So when we go through this, some of this stuff can be alarming, but it's like, just because you drank a Diet Coke and weren't diagnosed with Alzheimer's tomorrow, does that mean Diet Coke is healthy for you? No. No, so we have I need to break that thought pattern right there, because some people say, like, oh, well, I've been doing it for so long, it's fine. Like, I'm fine right now. And it's like, it's a toxic accumulation effect. So I just want to get, I was just talking to somebody today. It's like, I'm not toxic. I'm like, oh, yes, you live in America. You are highly, highly toxic, and we have a lot of work to do. Okay, now, that is not to overwhelm. It's just to paint the picture of where we are as a culture, because that was literally the first 2 hours of a day, right? And some of you are more intense than others, but it's like, that's where we're at. I didn't even get into coffee. I didn't even get into Starbucks. Who's my Starbucks people? Okay, so let me see if I have a thing that works. Okay. Oh, there's your day in your toxic life. Or I didn't even get to nighttime and all that stuff. So nobody ran out and got scared, so this is good. I think we're doing good. First, let's talk about our purpose in the office. Empowering. Empowered to live to your full potential. Like, empowered to live your best life. I do not want people to come in here and feel that overwhelmed. I want you to be empowered to live your absolute best life possible. I'm sick of, there are so many doctors out there that are just, it's a disempowering thing. You have this diagnosis, there's nothing you can do, God screwed up on your body, you have to take my synthetic medication the rest of your life. That's disempowering, right? Your body, our job here is to empower you to live your absolute best life and be the standard for healthcare. One of our posters up here says we're exposed to 700,000 chemicals a day. There are varying research on this. One of it's 2.1 million chemicals that are foreign to your body every single day. We are exposed to these things. So every day, your body hopefully detoxes a lot of these out, but toxins are fat soluble, meaning that they get stored in your body. And so every day we store more and store more and store more until eventually we reach that tipping point, and then it's just simply, a lot of times it's too late. Organs shut down, or we have emergency situations. So this is just specifically about heavy metals. So heavy metals are directly linked into, and does anybody get overwhelmed when every single thing out there is a carcinogenic substance, meaning cancer causing? Is it just like it just goes in one ear and out the other? Is anybody like that now? Because it's like everything, every product out there, hey, that causes cancer. Everything does. So that can be scary, but you know what doesn't? Broccoli. It's so just, there are many things that don't, but anything that's man-made has a really good chance of causing diseases like this. So, oh man, I'm only on like 1%. Hopefully this works. But I want to just walk through these. So cancer, cardiovascular disease, heart disease. This is specifically to heavy metal toxicity. Skeletal, blood, kidney, renal problems, lung damage, reproductive disorders, thyroid issues, immune system will be compromised, nerve disorders, joint and muscle disorders. So people come in here all the time and it's like, hey doc, my knee hurts. Can you fix my knee? I have this pain coming down here. My shoulder, my elbow hurts right here. And they're it's like, hey, can you do that thing where you pull on my knee? It makes things feel better. I've got this pain. It might be toxins. It might be your nutrition is jacked up. It might be our mind is toxic, which is creating stress and inflammation throughout our body. So we teach the 5 essentials here: nutrition, fitness, detox, mindset, and then the biggest one is your nerve system and making sure that our nerve system is working properly. But disease can be any single one of these as an underlying root cause. Does that make sense? So very often it's not as simple as, yeah, let me just adjust you, let me just move your elbow, let me just fix that. Because it very well might be that you've had heavy metal toxicity for a very long time, right? A lot of heavy metal toxicity is coming from high fructose corn syrup. It's coming from vaccines, which is a huge one. And actually, if anybody wants information on that, that is a whole other topic, but we have this whole thing if you want info on that specific topic, which I'll get into in a little bit, because it's a huge toxin and we have to address these things in our culture right now. So warning signs that your body is overloaded. Weight gain and fatigue are both thyroid issues. The thyroid is very, very, I'll say responsive, but reactive to chemicals. So when we look at these first two, bam, when we get toxic, our thyroid takes a beating, and sometimes we even see that on an x-ray. It's like, man, your thyroid's jacked up, probably because of toxins, but also because the nerve system's damaged. Skin problems like eczema, acne, muscle pains and spasms. Many people, especially if we sit at a desk all day, are going to get muscle pains and spasms because we're in these postures. Constipation, insomnia, mood swings. Who's here with a spouse? Look at your spouse and say, you might be toxic, yo. I'm just kidding. You should never fight or say bad things to your spouse. They should only be nice things. But it's like mood swings. When you think of that huge, man, I don't know what happened. I just don't feel right today. I'm angry, I'm irritable, whatever. Sometimes that's just toxic overload. Okay, who has heard this? It's just my genes. It's in my genes. Nobody's heard it. Who's heard it's just it's my genes? I guess that I'm just going to get this disease. It's whatever. Okay, that has been perpetuated into our culture because guess what? That is disempowering, and it's time to teach you the truth. So everybody, take a vacation. Not a vacation, maybe like a field trip. Although I would love to vacation with all of you, but I want a field trip with me instead. So let's say we're on a field trip and we're walking through this nice hiking area, and we come across this big lake, like lake pond, okay? And it's like, oh, it smells awful. It's not a full lake, but it's bigger than a pond. You get what I'm saying here? It smells awful, and as we get up there, we start noticing like there's just a bunch of dead fish and animals along the edges, like it's just kind of nasty looking stagnant water. And we start like thinking, oh my gosh, there must have been a genetic epidemic in this lake here. Would anybody ever think? No. Would this make sense? You know what? All these fish are developing tumors. We should tie ribbons around their tails, make them swim in circles, and raise money for little fish hospitals. And then we can have a bunch of money for fish hospitals, and then we can create research for drugs and create little fish drug things. And then we can get these fish better and put them back into the water. Does that make any sense? No. But what are we doing as a culture? There are civilizations and cultures all around the world with zero cancer. They can't find it anywhere. The Abkhazia clans, the Hunzas, the Vilcabambas, the Maasai warriors. It's like they're all over the place. Zero cancer in their society, yet for some reason, in first world cultures, we're having genetic epidemics where suddenly 50% of the population is getting heart disease, cancer, diabetes. Obesity has grown 10% in the last 10 years. A percent a year. That's 34 million more Americans are obese. That's not. So there are things that we are doing. So when you look at cancer specifically, I actually have read studies that say it's more like 98% is all lifestyle. But the truth is that your lifestyle determines which genes are kicked on and which genes are kicked off. And so just because you might have a breast cancer gene in no way means you're going to get breast cancer. It just means the gene is there. Everybody has these, so it's like, it just depends on your lifestyle that you live. If you create an environment where tumors are going to live, like a stagnant lake and a damaged lake, your body has to adapt to the environment you're in. It's not your genes. And I go through many other different examples, and like the study of epigenetics is actually what disproves the entire theory that your genes are responsible for your health. Epigenetics is a much, much bigger thing, but it's just, I mean, think about this. It's all designed to make a whole lot of money and keep people sick, like our little fish hospitals, okay? So now I'm not going to talk about a lot of cancer stuff today, but that is the big thing in our culture right now, because all these chemicals and toxins they're throwing onto us, it's getting us. Toxins are fat soluble. I've talked to many people that believe that, okay, so they bring toxins in, like, so Resurrection Sunday, Easter was yesterday, okay? I hope none of you did like the whole eat as much garbage and junk food and Easter eggs and chocolatey things as you can possibly shove into your face, right? Nobody did that in this office, right? Of course not. Thank you, Melanie. You made me happy. Okay. You didn't eat any chocolate? Okay. No, so I've talked to people and they're like, oh, you know, it's a holiday, it's your birthday, whatever. Eat as much crap as you want to. Tomorrow's a whole new day. Your body will flush those toxins out and they don't accumulate whatsoever. It's like, that is, it's what they teach in medical circles though, and it's silly. It's like, what are you talking about? Fat soluble, like vitamins A, D, E, and K, they're fat soluble, meaning when you take them, you can actually, they get into your fat cells. It's a good thing for those, but you can overdose on them, right? So when you look at toxins like this, when you take them in, your body says, oh no, we don't want that. And what it can't eliminate quickly, it stores in peripheral cells, and if it needs more, it builds more fat cells on the periphery of your body to keep it away from vital organs and stuff. And so a lot of times fat cells are basically just toxins that are stored on other parts of your body, which is why it can be so hard to lose weight and fat sometimes, because in order to burn fat, you have to release those toxins back into the bloodstream in order to get them out of your system. They don't just melt off your body unless you're doing a crazy amount of sweating. Like you can do that in saunas and stuff, like that's a powerful way to release toxins. But if we're having weight loss issues, a lot of times it's a toxic thing. Your body will not release toxins because it doesn't have a method to actually remove them from your body yet. So, which I'll get into. So let's expose some of the top toxins that we deal with right now. I mentioned phthalates. Who has heard of phthalates? So phthalates come from plastics and extremely are released when the plastic is heated. So if you're like heating plastic things up in a microwave, which it's so weird. I got rid of my microwave like 15 years ago, and so sometimes it's hard for me to recognize that people still use a microwave. So I don't want to make you raise your hand if you use a microwave, but recognize that, oh, Raphael, man, you're the only honest one in here. Yeah, but no, it's like, so you're literally causing molecular damage to the food, but then if you put it in a plastic container, you're releasing phthalates directly into your food, even more so. So it's something to watch out for. BPA, which is another like thing from plastics, VOCs, MTBE, which is actually, I've been seeing so many people with toxicity in this when we do metabolomics testing, but it's actually an old gas preservative, but it's stuck in our water supply. And so like they can't remove it, or they haven't tried to remove it, but it's highly toxic to us. Styrene toxicity we talked about, that comes from carpets and then like styrofoam. Mycotoxins, so mold and mildew, like little spores, mold spores. Heavy metals, mercury, aluminum, lead, copper, cadmium. Endotoxins, pesticides, and then PTFE, so Teflon. Petrotoluene, whatever the word is, okay? So, those are the top ones. We're going to get into like what to do about these, because it's not about being depressed today. We're going to give you like action steps. All right, so where are they coming from? Did everybody like our display we had over here? All the toxic garbage?
She's really funny.
What she said?
She said, yes. There it is. There's the word I was looking for. PTFE. Polypetrofluoroethylene. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into food, water, environment, cosmetics, cleaners, and containers in that order. So, here we go. Food. Hopefully these aren't unfamiliar to you, but if they are, I'm going to walk through them. So, monosodium glutamate. Who knows that that's bad? Okay. Has everybody heard of hydrolyzed yeast extract? Yeah, okay, so they're the same thing. And then autolyzed yeast extract is the same thing as MSG. So MSG, the big thing was from like Chinese restaurants, but ultimately they put this in everything. It causes nerve damage, and I'm pretty sure I can just put cancer with any of these things, but this one was definitely nerve damage and cancer. But so monosodium glutamate, some of them, like if you're getting like, I think it's like rice-a-roni or some of these things, it literally says, with monosodium glutamate to preserve freshness, because a lot of people are like, they don't read that anymore. But once the public catches on to something, they start changing the name, which is why we now have hydrolyzed yeast extract and autolyzed yeast extract, because that's confusing. It's like, what is that? I don't know what it is, but it's probably fine. They put it in my food the FDA cares about. So, I know, it's silly, but the reality is that that's what the whole country and world just did. So, aspartame. Aspartame is in soft drinks, diet drinks, gum. Who's my gum chewers in here? Have I yelled at you in the office? Oh no, I don't even know you guys yet. Hi, Dr. Mark. Oh, I should have introduced myself. I'm Dr. Mark. I am this person. And that was my wife, Dr. Liz. We just had a baby. Yay. So aspartame, like if I am adjusting somebody and I see they're chewing gum, I'm like, is that aspartame gum? And it's all the time it is. It's like, oh no, it's Orbit, or no, it's 5 whatever, or it's like, no, it's aspartame gum. Aspartame leads to neurological damage. So aspartame causes neurons in your brain to explode, releasing what's called excitotoxins, which give you this happy feeling. So when you drink your Diet Coke, you feel happier because your brain is exploding. And they know this. I mean, that's what's happening on this molecular scale. It's like, come on. So they know this, but they keep putting it in things because it's addictive. And they want to make money. And they just, it's like, it's crazy, but that's what's happening. Nitrates. So nitrates, or we give meat its nice, fresh red color. Otherwise, meat would be gray. And does anybody want to eat gray meat? No, so they add nitrates to it to keep it red in the grocery store so that you'll want to buy it, because we want coloring with our eyes. We don't want to eat gray meat. That's disgusting. We want to eat red meat, so they put nitrates in there. This is a huge carcinogen, nitrates and nitrites. So pretty much any like meat you're getting in a grocery store, just make sure the thing is grass-fed as much as you can possibly get, grass-fed and finished actually. Know your farmer for these types of things. But this is a huge chemical. Actually, heard that, like, so if the meat gets brown, right, then you take it back into the place, mix all like the ground beef up with nitrates again, make it red again, and then repackage it and put it back out there for you to buy it, because you want red stuff. And it's just more chemical toxicity into your body. FD&C colors, that's whatever, food and drug and consumer, food and drug and something coloring. So these are your artificial colorants, your what is it, yellow 2, blue 6, red 40. These are crazy for hyperactivity. This messes with your brain, your focus, your concentration. And so when you think about like kids, and it's like, here, drink this little weird looking blue drink or weird looking purple drink because they want something purpley, and it's like, we just created hyperactivity in this kid, and then what does our teacher say, what does the principal say, and what does the doctor say? They need drugs, man. Get that kid on Ritalin, and it's like, no, it's caused by something. It is not okay, this kid is damaged, they're weak and disempowered, and we need to drug them back into like here. It's like, no, let's refresh their body, detox these things out, and then let a kid be a kid sometimes, because boys are just more rowdy also. So it's not all the time, it's some mental issue. Sometimes it's just these things. Refined oils. Anything, pretty much anything in a box. But I want you to write down the 3 C's and the 3 S's. Corn, canola, and cotton. Safflower, sunflower, and soy. Those are the 3 biggest, nastiest refined oils you can possibly put in your body, and I beg you to just go home and throw them out if they're in your house. Canola oil might be good for polishing a bumper if you're working like in your car and you're trying to polish up an antique store or something like that. Good for polishing things, but it should never ever end up in your body. It is one of the most highly inflamed oils, like inflammation in the body, oils you can put. So corn, cotton, what did I say? Corn, cotton, canola, sunflower, safflower, and soy. Horrible oils. Genetically modified food. So if you genetically modify it to what, away from what God made, and your body now eats this weird food that you don't know what to do with, what's going to happen? You're going to develop tumors. They've known this for a long time. So don't eat GMOs. Bad. So what's our solution? Make a garden. Spend your whole life gardening. That's what I'm doing. No, okay, so organic really truly does. I talk to a lot of people and I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Oh yes, it does. It matters greatly, because conventional stuff right now is sprayed with so many herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides. It is, you can feel the film on some of the stuff that you're eating there, right? But does organic cost more? Yes, but if you switch your entire nutrition over, it actually is way, way less costly than when you eat all the snacky garbage and stuff, because a lot of people waste about $100 to $200 a month on weird, bad, snacky Oreos and chips and all the stuff that actually is killing you anyway. So you can save money when you truly eat healthy, good food. But organic food really does matter. Now, there is a question here if you trust Kroger and Publix, and if you trust the company that actually labels it and has it as organic. You have to do burpees now. Yeah, it's a law. You have to do burpees. It's a law. No, so if you trust them. So know your local farmers. Get to farmers markets as they start opening, as it starts getting better weather and stuff. I don't know when they open actually. May. Yeah, so it's like get to those things. Support local farmers and buy it where you actually know it's good. I'm telling you, it does make all the difference. You can taste it. It's different. Everything is different about it. If you're on like a super budget, then we have like the Dirty Dozen here. This will help you tremendously, okay? We put this together, and Ellie put it into this awesome little booklet thing here. We sell for like 10 bucks. It's very, very simple, but it will walk you through exactly like what vegetables are best for certain things, what needs to be bought organic, what needs to be bought, like what you can do conventional, like this Dirty Dozen. These are all when you're basically eating the whole thing. So like an avocado, you cut in and eat the middle. You can get away with a conventional avocado because it's not going to be as toxic. But if you eat a whole strawberry, all the stuff they sprayed on that strawberry, you are now eating, and so that's bad. That's why it will be a Dirty Dozen list. But this is so simple. It makes it very easy, and it's like 10 bucks and gives you like your guide, your nutritional guide. It helps out tremendously when we're just talking about food stuff, because this isn't a nutrition workshop, but these toxins in our food are absolutely horrible when we need to get them out of our body, because if we're putting that in our body every single day, every single meal, how many years can your body handle that? How many years can your kids handle that? The average kid right now is on multiple chronic health issues. Blue Cross Blue Shield did a study recently. Millennials are reaching their peak health at 27. The major health decline is now starting at 27 years old. That is not okay. Not okay. The #1 disease killer in kids right now from 5 to 14 is cancer. It is not okay. 50 years ago, there wasn't even a thing, and now it's the most common. And it's like, it's not something that we can handle anymore. So, mineral depleted soil and regenerative farming practices. Did anybody actually go watch that thing we were playing up here? Shoot, what was that called?
Kiss the ground.
Kiss the Ground. Anyone go watch it? A couple people. So that a lot of it, they get into like climate change stuff, and I'm not going to get into climate change with you because I don't really go into the climate change argument. But it's like our Earth, we have screwed up big time by bad farming practices, which create our topsoil is annihilated and depleted. And so what happens is, if you constantly, no crop rotation, and you till up all the soil, that creates dust, and it doesn't have soil anymore. And so there's no microbes, there's no real organisms in the soil anymore. So the only way to grow stuff is by spraying it with artificial nitrogens and all this stuff to just force it to grow. But you're not actually growing from the ground anymore. You're just growing the chemicals and chemicals and chemicals, which is why you get fake food. Right, and so we have to get into regenerative farming practices in order to, one, heal the actual earth, because the entire Midwest is becoming just desert land right now. It's insane what's actually happening, but like this is something that is huge to put your energy, mind, and money actually into. The whole climate change world is basically for taxes and basically to steal money. Regenerative farming practices is real. It's what we actually want to do to heal our earth, to make sure our earth is good, and take care of our ocean too, because it's hugely important. But this gets real food, real nutrients again, right? Spinach, 35 years ago, one bowl of spinach, to get the same nutrient density, you'd have to eat 25 bowls of spinach today, because our nutrients are lost, like our soil has lost the nutrients. One apple 30 years ago, you have to eat 4 apples today to get the same nutrient density, like the same magnesium concentrations, the same vitamin C concentrations. So that's what I mean by the soil's depleted of nutrients. So it might grow corn, but it's not real corn. It's like a corn-like substance, but real corn has real nutrients. You guys with me here? So supporting companies that are doing this, absolutely huge. Water. Water. Okay. How much water should you drink a day? That's a pretty good thing, right? So take your weight divided by 2, drink that number of ounces. That's a pretty good place to start. That helps. So the first thing that I do in the morning is chug somewhere around 20 to 30 ounces of water, get it into the system. That kickstarts metabolism. It kickstarts detoxification. It does so much good stuff for your blood. If you have blood issues, it cleanses out blood. It does a lot of stuff. But water is highly, highly toxic in our tap water especially. Let me actually read you some of these things. Oh man, this one just gets me every single time because I don't think about it. Like I was teaching this stuff for a while and I just didn't think about it because I was living in an apartment and I was like, well, there's nothing I can do anyway. But so, a 15-minute hot shower is equivalent to drinking 8 glasses of harmful water. So when you think about it, hot water produces steam and you inhale all the poisons when that water is steaming. The steam facilitates chloroform, which, what is chloroform? It's what they literally put on the cloth to make the guy pass out, chloroform. So because of the amount of chlorine in our water, when it turns into a steam, it's literally creating chloroform and TCE absorption that causes cancer. So just a shower with normal tap water, municipal tap water, we are becoming highly toxic from that. So how do we fix that? Pretty easy. Fix from a shower standpoint is shower head filters. You can get them for 20 bucks at Lowe's or you can get them for $120, depending on what level you actually want in there. But I would, like, if you have a house and you have the ability to really look at whole house filtration systems, or at least under your sink, you can get reverse osmosis units or like activated charcoal filters under your sink, so that your whole sink water at least is good. Your refrigerator has a filter, but I would honestly filter it even more than that. Those filters usually aren't the greatest in the world. But filtration is huge. Our water in the office, we spent a lot of money to make sure that all of our water here is highly filtered so that like our water fountains are not crap, they're actually good for you. Give me a high five because I don't charge anybody for that. You're welcome. Okay, it's actually just for me though because I drink a lot of it. And then our house, a good whole house filtration unit, man, it's going to run you like 7 to 15,000, maybe 10,000, depending on like the company and what you use. We use Robertson Family Water. And listen, what we've done over the last 8 years, we have kind of revamped our life. So think 8 years of living. We've done water filtration and air, and so we've done all these things. I do not want you to hear a lot of what I'm about to say and think, man, there's no possible way I can ever do this. We've been living this lifestyle a long time, and each year we kind of relook at where's the next stage for us. Like, how do we improve the next thing? And so we don't make gigantic purchases like that off a whim. It's like, okay, when is the next thing, and when am I going to purchase this? Because you know, like, it needs to happen. It's when can you make it happen, and how are you going to plan that into your life, your finances, your job, investments, whatever you're doing here. But water is crucial. We're getting, right now, birth control is directly into your tap water. Antidepressants are directly in there. Petroleum is directly in there. So when we drink tap water, we're getting all that stuff. And it's like, I don't want birth control pills. I would like to be a man that doesn't take birth control pills. So, but that's what we're putting into the systems here. If your body, so your skin is a pretty good blocker detergent or whatever. Let's say you use tap water every day. No, you expose yourself to an average 25 gallons of toxic contaminated water. Let's say your skin repels 75%. You know, you're absorbing 25% of those toxins that we're putting into our body. So make sure that you're doing the best you possibly can with those things. Oh man, I got all my notes got out of place here. So air quality. They say, I think the EPA says this, but our homes, inside of our homes, are 5 to 100 times more toxic than outside air. And that's saying something because with all the geoengineering and all the stuff that they're doing, the outside air is pretty heavily toxic and disgusting. But our inside air, due to furniture off-gassing and all the stuff I talked about, our mattresses, our carpets, the amount of dust. If you have pets, the amount of pet stuff in the air. Do you ever see like when a window's open or whatever and the sun shines through and you get beams of light and you're like, oh, is all that in there? Like you try to blow it all away as if it's gonna it's just the air in there is toxic and damn. It's like we open our windows as often as we can and try to flush things out. So we got a good air filter. So some of you probably haven't changed your air filters in way too long, and you know who you are. Okay? As a matter of fact, Stella, don't look up, because Ellie just told me that I need to change that. I forgot that was my job in the office. I thought that they did it, the building people, because I pay them crap tons of money to do stuff for me. And they didn't change our air filter, so don't look up. Don't look up, Lynn! Okay. Well, your air filters at home need to change. We got those like filtry things, so I can literally like check and see my air quality on my phone in my house to see like how much stuff is going on there. But this was another investment we made. I use IQ Health Pro Plus. That's the company I use. That's the filter that I actually use. It's the IQ Healthcare Plus. It's literally like this big and like out to here. It's a giant unit that covers about 1,800 square feet, and you can put it anywhere, and it has like 3 different filters, a HEPA filtration, a charcoal filtration, and then something on the bottom that super filters everything else. And it's like, it is unbelievable how powerful this thing is at cleaning air. And so when we're out of town, when we're out of the house or whatever, we'll put it in the middle and just turn the thing on high so it can like filter out all the stuff that's in our house. But that unit probably is like $900 or something, and then you got to get filters for it. But it's a powerful unit. So air quality is huge. If you can't do that, make sure that you're just little tiny air filters just in your like sleeping quarters. Like make sure that you're getting your sleeping room pretty healthy. So get little air purifiers.
Plants in your house
Oh yeah,
and
plants.
salt lamps that are
Yeah,
way
so
cheaper.
yeah, we have salt lamps everywhere and in every one of our outlets at home. Salt lamps are everywhere. People would think I'm like some kind of nutcase there, but it's like, so every one of our outlets, I'm not going to talk about electricity today because that's a different thing, but every one of our outlets, so out of an outlet, like a socket, is dirty electricity. That is a energy, it's like a negative energy into the body. And so we put sterilizers in all of our outlets. So every one of our outlets has this big box coming out of it that like decreases negative energy, like not energy like voodoo energy, like electricity energy. And then we have little plug-in salt lamp things just for that case. And then plants, we don't have enough plants in our house. I was just telling Liz, but I've spent so much money gardening that I can't buy anything else this year. Many plants are filtering and giving you good oxygen, like they're filtering bad stuff. Many of you know way more about plants than I do. Cosmetics, okay. So, when I'm putting my makeup on in the morning, I mean, it takes a lot to look this good. Okay, so, makeups. Women, the amount of toxins in your makeup is alarming. They looked at 49 different makeups, face makeups, 5 foundations, 4 concealers, 5 powders, 5 blushes. 96% of them contained lead. So we're putting heavy metal toxicity every single day on our face, and then the powder stuff, you're breathing it directly in, right? It doesn't just go anywhere. And who, women, have ever tried to clean your mirror and it just kind of smeared and it was awful because you had so much makeup plastered onto it? Anybody? No. Okay. Well, I've seen some places, and I know. Good. I love that. 90% contain beryllium, 61% contain thallium, 51 cadmium, and 20% arsenic. Right. So when you look at like these toxins that we're putting onto our body and like getting everywhere, and then we're putting lip glosses and makeups and stuff on, and then eating them, it's like you are literally eating these things, and so you're ingesting the chemicals that they're putting on these things. So investing, I will say investing, because anything you're putting into your health is an investment, it's not a cost, right? So if you are investing in healthy makeups, that is a smart thing to do. Okay, my wife uses Crunchy. They have a lot of good stuff. It's on the more expensive side, fantastic product. Every one of their things is awesome. You do have to kind of like, maybe for Christmas, you get a little bit more, and then your birthday, and it's like some more expensive stuff. This company here, Lemongrass Spa stuff, also better on the wallet, like better price point. Lots of amazing stuff and very quality, and it's all like American. Okay, so really, really good stuff. Use it. Grab, I think we have magazines or something back there, but this is like an amazing company for these things. If you're using a lot of products, get these things. Ellie was like, yeah, bring some of your dude products for the thing. And I was like, my God. what would I bring up here? Literally, I'm like so. Yeah, and even that, I use an electric razor, which is awful. I hate that. So the switch there is probably when something is gone, don't buy that same thing, and let's switch over to a healthy makeup, and then until every single one of those is gone. Some of you might be in a place in your health where it's not wait until a product is gone and then buy a good healthy product. Some of you need to take a big giant trash can and dump it in the middle of your house and just walk around the house and take every single product that is toxic and throw it in there and cleanse your life from that, and then go spend some money, and it's going to be painful, and you're going to go redo your house. Some of you might be in a place like that. Some of you, it's like, okay, when my deodorant's gone, I'm going to go get a better deodorant. When my toothpaste is gone, I'm going to go get a better toothpaste, and so on. And then suddenly, in about a year to a year and a half, all of your products will be switched over, and it'll be awesome. And that's a worthy year and a half. But if you've got the cash or you've got the ability, some of it is like, just dump it all in there. A few years ago, we raffled ourselves off, my wife and I, to come in and revamp a kitchen. And it was so fun. We put a trash can in there, and I was like, Scott, what is this? This is awful. But then we took them to the grocery store and bought all their staples and stuff from again. It was really fun. Really expensive though. I'm not going to do that again. So, okay, so our cleaners. I guess I should have put this up there first. So our cleaners, from Windex to all this stuff, like we have better options up here, so you can come check this out afterwards. But cleaning things, when you're spraying those, you're breathing it in, it's getting all over your skin. This is an absorption. You absorb things through your skin, so you're breathing it, it's getting in here, your eyes, your nose. It's like it's going all over. Anytime you spray these things, it's everywhere. When you have those little air things, oh my goodness. So I took my daughter over to my neighbor's house just to say hey, because we wanted to be like, hey, look, we had a baby in the backyard a little bit ago. He was like, what? Anyway, but I walked in his house and I was like, oh my gosh, like they have so many of those air things in it, and I was like, I can't breathe in here, man. How do you do this? But when you're highly toxic, you're used to toxicity, and your body adapts to these things. And when you kind of are cleansed, you are highly receptive, and you can, like, some of you wear makeup, or not makeup, wear like perfumes and stuff, and lay on the table, and I have to like hold my breath while I'm adjusting you, and it's really hard because otherwise I'll like go into a sneezing fit when I'm adjusting you. So just know that I love you and care about you, but sometimes you need to stop wearing cologne and perfumes and stuff because they're neurotoxic, and I'd like to live. So cleaners. Okay, this one is huge. Disinfectants. We just went through a weird 2 years where they disinfected the world, and guess what creates your immune system?
Bacteria.
Bugs, bacteria, viruses, fungus. That's what makes your gut. That's what makes your microbiome. That's what makes everything. And the more that you disinfect, the more you're damaging your immune system. So when we are constantly disinfecting our hands, we're damaging our immune system. I see all the time people, I always go to the grocery store, and when I'm there, I try to grab a cart that was already used by somebody in the parking lot somewhere that has dirt on it or whatever. Because when you go in there, everything's all, like, it's disgusting. And then I don't want to grab the thing that has the toxins on it. I want to live normally. And so, but I see people, and they're like, yesterday I went shopping, and this kid put his little 2-year-old, and I had Everest with me, put his little 2-year-old in the cart, and then disinfected the thing, his hands, his body, like, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so Everest and I are like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, oh. So, but these things are horrible. It's propylene glycol, fragrance, and colors. All of them are bad. Hyperactivity. It's like, these things are toxic to our bodies, and yet it's rampant throughout our culture now, and they normalized it everywhere. I actually just had a patient quit in here because I don't sanitize everything every 5 seconds. And it's like, you're not going to last very long. I was actually hoping that she would be here because she needs to learn this stuff. But it's like, anyway, so it's like, this is so big. So the hand sanitizer thing, it's on like every purse now, every purse I see, and like, you got a little hand sanitizer on there. I know, I should take it off. You got to learn these things. But look at the ingredients of them, okay? If you want hand sanitizer stuff, is there On Guard spray stuff in there? Will you grab it, or can you throw it in there? Can you move it? Oh, so like a quick thing of On Guard, like essential oil spray or whatever, like that'll do the same thing but in a healthy fashion. It won't hurt you. But if you're like super germy or whatever, like that can help. But in case you're wondering on the germ side of things, what time is it? Oh dear. Jennifer was like, you don't have to take out any slides, just don't talk as much. So they just pushed the germ theory hard on the world. Yet the reality is that the terrain theory is what governs it. So germs do not make a person sick. The terrain, a healthy body, can fight off invaders and bacteria, like bad bacteria. Does that make sense? So we've had at least 12 couples in here where one spouse will be like positive for, you know, whatever, the big C word, right? I don't even like saying that word. And the other spouse will be perfectly fine. They sleep together, eat together, live together, do all the stuff together. If the germ theory were accurate, how is that possible that one spouse is positive for a virus and another spouse is not? Yes, welcome to the terrain theory of thinking, because that happens all the time. I've been in practice now 9 years. I've never missed a day because of sickness, and yet I touch, not weirdly, I touch people all day long. I am face to face with you and hugging people all day long, and I've never gotten sick from anybody. Do you understand how this works? People come in all the time and they're like, oh, I got sick there. Oh, this person called, you know, they didn't even tell me that they had COVID and then I got sick from it. It's like, no, you didn't get sick from anybody. Your immune, you lived a lifestyle that shut down your immune system, so you would have caught anything from anything, anywhere. It's like, so the more that you take care of your body, the more protected you are. You cannot just live in this little bubble person, right? That's not going to work. Okay, so we've got to free ourselves from this idea that germs are going to go kill everybody. And it's like, no, that's not even how it works. I've taken care of well over 150 COVID positive people at this point, and I don't wear gloves or wear, it's just like, no, I'm going to adjust them, turn their power on, and let them go back and have an amazing life. Okay, so PTFEs. Okay, it's Teflon. Cooking things. So Teflon, obviously bad. They should have banned it a long time ago. They know it causes cancer. They know it causes bad things into the body, and yet we still sell it, we still use it, and people still buy it. So what do we do with these things? Switch over. Stainless steel, many of the companies are pretty good. Cast iron, really good. You can actually get cast iron with a ceramic coating that's actually really good also. But just go stainless steel and cast iron. The problem is that cast iron will ruin those glass, if you have glass burners. You don't use cast iron. I destroyed ours like that. Anyway, so, okay, just a very, very easy switch. Go home, take Teflon, throw it away. Use cast iron or stainless steel, okay? And on Teflon, where's my fun MASK? Sorry, I don't like some words. I just don't even like using them. So those blue masks, they literally spray the inside of those with PTFEs, Teflon, because it's a non-stick and they don't want your stuff to stick on it. Okay, but they spray the inside of those masks with Teflon, and so people are breathing these things in for 2 years, right? That's cancer-causing chemicals that they're forcing onto people practically. So you got to learn this stuff. Microplastics. This is an easy one. Don't use plastic, use glass. Good? Do I have to go into that farther? Especially don't heat things up in plastic. So if you have old plastic things and you want to use them, make sure they're cold the entire time. That'll be way better. But don't heat things up in them or put hot food into them. That'll release the plastics. There's some notes on there that you have like lots of plastic in your body. I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so supplements. Gilberto could call up a manufacturer and be like, hey, I want to sell turmeric. I want to name it Gilberto's Finest Wellness Products. I have this neat design. Would you put that on a product and start selling it to people? He could do that, and so could anybody in here. You could private label pretty much any supplement and turn it into whatever. There's almost no good regulation on the supplement industry, so you can go buy turmeric that is labeled turmeric, but it'll be 98% fillers of garbage and maybe 2% turmeric. So very often people are buying supplements that have no benefit to them whatsoever, and they say things like, oh, I'm taking turmeric, or I'm taking vitamin D, or I'm taking whatever, and then we look at their products and we look at stuff and I'm like, no, you're not. You're taking complete garbage. And I hate that because we actually sell supplements, and so I don't like getting into sales things because it just kind of gives me a bad taste. But ultimately, I love our company because it's a standard. It is the standard for natural healthcare, and so we have a standard for supplements. So supplements, you want to look at what's actually in them. Many of them have artificial flavors, colorings, and preservatives, additives. Many proteins, almost every protein on the market, when you look at it, either uses conventional whey or is sweetened with aspartame or sucralose. And so we go into like Gold's Gym and I see what people are using and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is not made for human consumption. Yeah, it might be isolated protein so you can get bulky, but that's not the goal. You're destroying your gut, and if you destroy your gut, you're going to die early. But you're going to be ripped, so you're going to be like, have abs, and then you're going to die. And that's not okay. Like, we want to be healthy throughout our life. Matter of fact, even with that, working out, the only reason you work out is to fulfill your God-given potential. You don't work out for any other reason other than that. Like, or attract a mate, I guess. You know, but it's like, you know, so anyway, it's like you've got to pay attention to these things. Closest to its natural form, that's what we're looking for. So I just want to, like, if you look at, if you go to manufacturing plants or call them up, they literally have, like, okay, so I want to make Gilberto's wellness products. Do you want the bottom shelf? Do you want the medium shelf? Do you want the high quality? And the bottom shelf is going to be a $10.99 or $9.99 supplement, and then it goes up from there. And it's like, what do you want in your body? You want the best quality that you can possibly put in that's actually going to do the job. The worst supplement is one that actually makes you sicker, okay? So none of this stuff actually means anything, but I promise you the Max Living brand promise is just a good thing for you. It is certified and all the good stuff, and every 2 years we look and revamp products that we know that we can make better. We partner with Designs for Health because they have great brand promise also, so that if we don't have something, we can use Designs for Health company to fill in the gaps, because quite frankly, the more sick people are, the more we need to fill in nutritional gaps, because there's a huge topsoil depletion. So you're not eating food with full nutrients, so we need to supplement that gap. That's why we supplement up here. Okay, I want to go over the 3 things that we're actually using for, oh good, they're up here. Man, Ellie, thank you. This is such a pretty table, I'm not using it properly. Everything I was just going over. This product swap guide. Can everybody read this thing here? If anybody's highly confused, this will walk you through gently and easily what to switch every one of your products to. So if you're like, I don't know how to get to a grocery store or whatever, it's like deodorants, toothpaste, mouthwash, hair products, perfumes. What products are actually good on the market? So Ellie put this together for you. Again, it's $10. People that have full access to our online academy already have access to this, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. And if you have like the intro one, I don't think it's on there, but it's like $10 and it'll walk you through all different product swaps for all personal care and your stuff at home, okay? Very, very, very simple with that. Okay, these 3 supplements. This is what like I would recommend from just a detox perspective. The detox system is a 2-part system. Many detoxes on the market right now will pull toxins out of your body, put them in your gut, and then they don't push them out of the body, and so you reabsorb them. And so it pulls it in, and then you reabsorb it back in. That's why we created the detox product. This was actually made because the founder of Max Living, his wife, got very sick with Lyme disease, and this was created to help her heal from that. And she's absolutely perfect and doing really amazing right now. So it's like a very, very powerful supplement. So it uses 2 parts. The cell you take in the morning to pull toxins out of your cells. Amazing how that worked, right? So it's a cellular cleanse. You're just pulling toxins out. It's not a colon blow. You know, it's like you're just pulling toxins out and storing it. Thank you for like having fun with me. Okay, and then the body detox you take in the evening, that keeps those toxins there and then pushes it out. There's a lot of power in this, but it supports your immune system naturally, detoxes things out. However, if you're super heavy metal toxic and you know you need more, that's where we use Metal Bind with it. Metal Bind will pull heavy metals out of the system. So I had to do I was in the Navy for 1 year and injected with God knows how much weird stuff into my body. And then my other life, and I just did not live a healthy life until, anyway, we're not gonna get into my story here. But I had to do major like chelating and chemical and heavy metal detoxing from my body. I was heavy metal toxic in mercury, aluminum, lead, cadmium, platinum, like things I never even heard of. Beryllium was one of them, but now I know these things. But it's like highly toxic in these things. I had to do a chelating agent and all this stuff to get it out. Metal bind takes the place of those things. So now you can just do a detox system in metal bind and pull toxins out of your system. If you have been fully, let me just jump into this topic because it's such a high, weird topic that we go into, but it's like if we've been fully vaccinated, I don't want to get into whether you think vaccines are good or bad. Every one of them is toxic to our body. So when you just look at the ingredient list, there's toxins in there, and so we have to detox from them. Even if you love vaccines and you get flu shots every year and all this stuff, that's not, you can do your thing, but we've got to look at the toxic exposure. The flu shot has thimerosal, mercury, so we're injecting mercury every single year. That just doesn't seem smart to me because it's a neurotoxin, and so you have to detox out from those things or stop them. When you look at the current vaccine schedule, from my age and up, so from 86 and earlier, right, so if you're born in 1986, earlier than that, there were only 2 to 4 vaccines even on the schedule. Now there's 72 doses or more, plus now they're injecting people with COVID and weird snake stuff. So it's like all sorts of just weird things going on into the body, okay? We've got to detox those out. So the detox system and metal bind are what we're using as like a bundle for this that we can actually put on sale for you guys, okay? In addition to that, we want to support your gut as you're detoxing because your gut's going to take a pretty big hit and we want to protect it. So Max GI will go with a good detox system to help support all of that. Your gut is your secondary nerve system. You have just as many neurons in your gut as you do in your spinal cord. We have to take care of this thing, and by gut I mean anything out of from your mouth to your rear end. Okay, so that's your gut. All right, that's your microbiome. We need to support the microbiome while we're detoxing. Those 3 supplements, usually I think they're $160 or something. We do them 15% off at an event like this, so it brings it down to like 120-esque something. What did you say it was? 127 for like the 3 of those. If you know I'm toxic, I need these things, we have like, I think we have like 20 bundles or something like that for people if you know that we actually need these things, okay? They're extremely powerful, good supplements. You just have to, so for those that are actually on this, and some of you are already taking this right now, what I do is I get up and then I put the body detox like on my pillow so I don't forget it. Because if you forget the body detox at night, you're kind of like, it defeats the purpose. So you've got to remember both of them, which is sometimes hard. And so you do need to like set alarms on your phone or get really used to supplement world. So I mentioned this a few times, so I just want to go over this a little bit. Max Metabolics testing. This is, I forgot to print my thing. So powerful. When you can, this is functional nutrition testing or functional, yeah. Now we all know how toxic you are. So functional testing to be able to see what exactly is happening at your body at these different levels. So this looks at vitamin and mineral deficiencies. This is what it comes out as. So you get this like basically a booklet of all the stuff going on in the body. But you'll have like oxidative stress. So how much actual stress in your body is there from a cellular level? Mitochondrial dysfunction, if your body is even producing the energy or ATP that it needs. Omega imbalances, so your inflammatory markers, how your brain health actually is. Toxic exposure and methylation. And it looks at all of your vitamins, minerals, your blood sugar imbalances, your inflammation levels. Let me shoot past all of that. This is the whole energy cycle in here where if things are low or high, it's not going to produce the cycle, which is going to create oxidative stress, which is going to damage your cell membrane. That paves the way for cardiovascular disease, heart disease, cancers. Then it looks at malabsorption markers in your gut. Are you developing bad bacteria, yeast, or fungal overgrowth in your gut? So it looks at all of that. Toxicity and heavy metals. That is, so you can guess and just assume, well, I'm toxic. After everything he just said, I'm pretty sure I'm toxic. I need these things. Or it's like we can actually test and see exactly. I just got my results back for my last one, and my arsenic toxicity is literally like off the charts in here. And I'm going through like, where in the heck am I getting arsenic? It's probably from your perfumes and cologne. Like you guys are killing me, it's crazy. But it's like, so, but it gives you like the, okay, that's where I'm at right now. What's my path to get out of this? How do I fix these markers? This looks like your cellular energy, your, what did I miss up there? Your fatty acid stuff. You can actually do genetic markers on here, even though most people, we don't do this. But your amino acids are your building blocks of life. Are your amino acids off or are they on? Your omega imbalances. This is huge to know your omega imbalances so you know what to supplement with. We have an optimal omega back there that covers the basics of most of them and it's high quality, but some people need specific DHA for brain health because their brain is lacking nutrients, or you need specific EPA or ALA, the specific fatty acids. We don't eat a whole lot of fish in our culture, but we're also our gut is so damaged, we're not absorbing the things. And so anyway, this gives us so much insight into what's truly happening in your body so that we can target specifically nutritional needs, supplement needs, and know which nutrition plan to actually put you on. So, who's a good candidate for this? We can test literally kids up to whoever, but honestly, it's a powerful thing. Normally the test is like $2,100 or $2,150, so $2,150. As part of Max Living, we get way, way, way better discounted rates with the testing companies, and so it brings it down to $750 to do a test like this. That seems like a lot of money, but when you get into testing and you get into the world of real disease and cancer testing and stuff like this, it is like this much when you look at actual like building these things. So, and those of you that have gone into that world, like I had a lady that just spent $50,000 on all this cancer work that she was doing. And by the end of it, all they said was, well, you need chemo and radiation like everybody else. And it's like, no, we need to get down to like, what do we actually need to do at the biochemical, the cellular level to actually get your body truly healthy again. So if you want more information on that, we don't have like a sign-up sheet or anything like that, but if you want more information, talk to me, Ellie, Jennifer, or Araceli, and they'll get you on the right path to get you on that, okay? Man, it's 7:30, okay. Let's do this like this, okay? Don't be a negative person, okay? Jesus loves you, don't be negative, okay? Life is way too short, like, seriously. Be a good human being to other people. You have no idea what they're going through. I have so many people in here, I'll be like, so what's going on? Why is it so hard? And they're like, well, I'm abused, my spouse beats me, and I don't want to be here right now. And it's like, oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so you have no idea what people are going through. Just love people, okay? So stop being toxic, negative. Somebody take a picture with this, okay? I want you to spend the week or a week, nobody's taking a picture, one person took a picture. Okay, so think about one of these and please seriously think about actually doing it to remove some stress from your body. I promise you, if you get off of social media, if you're on it, if you get off of social media, immediately you will feel better. Actually, you'll have a day where you're like, man, I really want to check my phone. And after that, you will feel so much better. Fast from the news. If you watch the news for the love of all that is good, stop. Stop. It sells fear. That is what they do. Fear sells. And so they do a lot of that. It is garbage also. It's all just lies because it's all controlled by like two families. Okay, so say no. It is okay to tell people no. You do not have to do everything for everybody. It is okay to say no. Family adventure, no phones. Family dinner, put your phones all in the center of things, like face down, and the first one that has to look at their phone like cleans up everything or paints the house or whatever the thing is, like make it big. Owes $50 to somebody. You know, it's like, no phones, get them out of your life. Weekly family meetings, war plan, know what's going on, that removes stress. Otherwise you have like, I thought you were gonna pick up the kids. No, I had the meeting. You know, we didn't, like, you got a war plan, know what's happening in your family. Journaling, oh my goodness, please write stuff down. It is so powerful. We have 5-minute journals back here that are literally life-changing. I knew journaling on blank sheets of paper doesn't work for me. Journaling in a 5-minute journal where it's like, okay, 3 amazing things that happened today, 3 things I need to do, and 2 affirmations. I can do this. It helps me out so much to get it out of my brain and onto paper of like who God says I am. It's like, because there's all the weird stuff that goes on in your brain. Nobody even likes me. Why am I going to the practice? Why am I going to I want to go to the beach. Why aren't I? So it's like, you know, we got to fix these things. Date night. My wife just took date night, just took my first daughter out for her first like mommy-daughter date. because she was jealous. You've got to pour into each kid individually if you have multiple kids. Prioritize downtime. 1 apostrophe. Detox your mind. Let's skip this and this. Okay. Oh, sweat. Go sweat. Seriously, it's good for you. Last thing I'll go over, because this is really the biggest thing. Your nerve system is everything. So, what controls everything in your body? Okay, good. One person got that. What controls everything in your body?
Your brain.
Your brain. Yeah. Okay. This is so crucial to understand. Health is about function, and your nerve system, God gave you an innate power to run your body. Your nerve system controls every cell, every tissue, and every organ in your body. In order for your detox pathways to work, your nerve system connects and controls that. For your gut to heal, your nerve system controls that. For your arms, for you to grow fingernails, for anything to work, your nerve system controls that. So many people think that chiropractic is dealing with back pain and neck pain. Chiropractic deals with the nerve system for function in the body to allow you to express your best life possible. That's it. It connects you back to your creator. It is an amazing art form to fix a nerve system so that you are a fully connected human being. But health is about function. It is not about feeling good. Feeling good means nothing. People that are really healthy can feel bad puking in a toilet and be perfectly healthy with food poisoning or whatever. Right? If you have a fever, what is a fever? Your innate design healing itself. That's what a fever is. And we have panicked as a culture. And so we try to cool them down and do all this stuff and take Tylenol. That you just went directly against what your body's doing to heal. If you injure yourself, it swells and heats up. What does our culture tell us to do? Oh my gosh, you need to ice it. That goes directly against God's natural design to heal you. So if you roll your ankle and it's poofy, that's what your body did to heal it. That's actually what my newsletter is for next week, so stay tuned. Okay, it's huge to understand this, right? So the nerve system, the brain has to communicate out. That's why we take care of a nerve system. That's why if you're a patient, that's why we tell you you have to do your home exercises on a regular basis. It is the way to fix the nerve system. Kids, when kids wobble and do traction, but wobbling increases cerebral spinal fluid flow up to the brain and increases what's called proprioception, which helps them function and learn and focus and concentrate just by doing little wobble exercises for the spine. And then if we adjust them and we connect all that and then we fix the structure there. So this is everything to us. Our nerve system is everything. Most people, though, have never actually had their spine checked properly. It's just, they never even thought about it, or were too afraid of a chiropractor because they thought they'd have like their head ripped off or something like that. It's like, we wouldn't even be in business with that. Like, I would never adjust my wife if there was even an inkling that she'd die of some weird thing. Like, that would never, ever, ever happen. Chiropractic is the safest profession out there, especially in healthcare. Our malpractice insurance is less than your car insurance. We're super, super, super safe people, right? It's like so, but you got to know what's going on in the nerve system. So there's a huge list of warning signs that you already have nerve blockage or interference in your nerve system. But many of these are the same things as you're toxic, your gut's damaged. It's like it's the same symptom load, but very often it's an adjustment to the nerve system that can allow the body to actually heal. There's only one way to know if your nerve system is healthy or not, and that's to take structural x-rays. Right, from events like this, we basically just do a $40 exam and we waive x-ray fees. If you've never had your spine checked, talk to my team in the back. They'll go through that with you of what that looks like. But honestly, the best way is to get your phone out and text EVAL, E-V-A-L. That puts you right into the office and everything will be taken care of from there because we'll just schedule it through there. But if you've never had your nerve system actually looked at, get in here, let me just look at it with you, see what's actually going on there, okay? I sped through the whole back half because we need to get out of here. Is this done? Yeah, okay. So, takeaways from this thing. If you took notes, you're gonna look at it and be like, wow, there's a whole lot going on. Just think of one thing that you can change that's gonna move your life in a good direction. right? Some of you, it's just get off of social media, stop the news. Some of you, it's, okay, I'm just gonna go throw my plastic containers away, go to Bed Bath & Beyond, you have to go like this to go in the door. Get the glass sinks. It's like you can get crazy amounts of good glass or Pyrex containers for not that much. Get rid of the plastic, make the switch. If it's Teflon, get rid of it, make the switch. You are immediately healthier if you just make those little switches. If you're using perfumes and colognes, just take it to the trash can and dump it, because ain't nobody want to be neurotoxic around you anyway. All right? They want to smell your actual God-given body odor or whatever scent you're giving off, okay? It's like, it's actually true, okay? Whatever it is for you, just make that one action step and let's like be healthy together, okay? Sorry, I had to end in a hurry there. So.
Good job.
I was just double checking through my mind. Okay, let me say this also. We have a community dinner. Araceli, what day was that? Or did she leave? She left me? What is it? 23rd. May 23rd, right? Yeah, so it's a while from now, but May 23rd, we're having a dinner. It's on one of our outreach dinners. So if you have people around you that you love and care about and want them to come just see what our office is, just have a great dinner with us and just experience. I go through like a little bit of just simply what health really is. A lot of people are dealing with things that they don't need to deal with. They're dealing with digestive issues and headaches constantly and migraines and tingling and all this stuff. And it's like there's another answer outside of the medical system. And so we make it very easy. May 23rd, I don't know what night that is. Monday evening, we shut this office down. It doesn't look like this. It looks like a beautiful Italian restaurant with fire and everything. It's really nice. It's good. We turn on the little lamps and stuff. It's really nice, but it's a free dinner. Your ticket in is just bring a guest that wants to know the truth about health, and so we just have fun together, okay? I imagine we'll have signups for that soon, because I didn't plan talking about that until 5 seconds ago.
Just text dinner.
Oh yeah, there is a thing. So text dinner to our office number. I know nobody's paying attention to this part. So it's like text dinner to our office number if you have like somebody in mind, and let's reserve you a spot. We can only fit like 25 people at those. And so we try to keep it smaller. Sometimes it's a close-knit group and sometimes it's bigger. It's our outreach for fun people, okay? I'm gonna pray for us if that's cool, and we'll head out of here. So, God, we're just grateful that we can even have nights like this. We just want to give all glory and praise to you. We just thank you so much for your Resurrection Sunday yesterday. We wouldn't be here without that, and we just just want to praise your name in this office. I just pray for healing and blessings over every person here, that you bless their life, their relationships, that you're involved in their marriages or whatever relationship with their kids is going wrong. If there's people dealing with serious health issues, God, I just pray that your spirit is all around them, that you are the great physician and you heal them just with the faith that they have, with the faith in this room. And I just pray for blessings on people's finances, that you just love them through this, that you bless them enormously, and that people have a great night getting home. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. If you wouldn't mind, just leave the chairs. Yeah, okay, never mind, you can go. But just like, everybody's going to try to stack them, and very few people know how. So just kind of, I'll take care of it. Or my team will.
You can't take one home.
Sorry, that was like you can't steal my chairs.
Yeah, just leave the chairs. Don't take them home.
Well, I mean, leave them like everybody's going to try to.